Jairam, you are obviously from the project side, and do you want to make a comment on this?
It's me, right?
Yes, Mr. Jairam.
To me, the design has undergone a sea change. I would definitely agree with what Mr. Chintan talked about passenger experience. So when you're talking about airports, we have three components. We're talking about land side, we're talking about air side, we're talking about terminals. As such, if you look at terminals, that's where the passenger experience is the most. The most critical thing is being a public space. I think a lot of focus these days has gone to the operation and maintenance of terminals in the long run. How do we make it very simple? How do we make it cost efficient? Because it reduces our operating costs substantially. And if you look at the choice of materials that you use, for example, a flooring, you can talk from moving to a carpet, to a terrazzo, to a granite, to, and various other things. I think those things are being talked about it, and there's a lot of user experience and feedback that's being taken into. Apart from that, one of the important things of an airport is it needs to, as a design, it needs to stay for a long period of time. It has a life of at least 10, if not more, in terms of the functional elements. Therefore, flexibility in design, be it architecture, be it MEP, be it baggage handling systems, be it IT, be it ICT, be anything, the flexibility is very, very important. How can it integrate to absolutely the changes in technology, how it can embrace in a very seamless manner. So those things are a big challenge, but I think all our operators in India, they have done a fantastic job in bringing in the best of consultants, the best of team together to address these. The airports that we have, you look at Delhi, you look at Bangalore, you look at Mumbai, you look at all of them, I'm telling you, it's a testimony to all of this. The last 10 years has undergone it's a fantastic situation where we are. We are now undergoing the second phase, which is expansion. So I think the challenges of an expansion are very different. But if you ask me about design, I would probably say that's what it is. Over.
Yeah, I think that really puts a whole perspective. Jayashree.
I have a question for Jairam, since like he mentioned about like various materials, various services, integration of these. So this question is related to what are some of the innovative ways in which you ensure all parties work together to achieve a smooth and cost-effective project, Mr. Jairam?
Great. That's something that we always face. It's a challenge. I would begin by saying that, the project management services is a very specialized service. Unlike what is being felt in the market or being perceived in the market, it's a very, very specialized thing because we're dealing with humans. All that we are trying to do is we put the best people out the job, we have the best processes, and then we have a way how to make sure that all the parties are working together to make it happen. One of the innovative management approach that I can think of is an integrated team approach. On the projects that we are managing right now, one of it that we are fostering is having an integrated team with client, with contractor and PMC and other consultants working together as one team. It's extremely important for all of us to work together as one team. That, it deepens the bond, it brings the best commitment out of the people. And most importantly, the team building that happens from top down, it benefits the team a lot. I think if this approach is successfully done, I think 90% of our problem is solved. The next thing that I would really think in terms of really innovative, I wouldn't say it is very innovative, but it's been a very underlying tool of how project management practice is done is communication. It's all about communication. It might sound so simple, but it's the most complex. There are various forms of communication that we have. We have electronic medium these days. You have laptops. You're probably having we're having an overload of communication these days. But the right communication with the right team, it helps in building a high level of transparency, building a lot of trust among the people. Misinformation is a big reason for a lot of issues between the team members. It could be between the companies, between the partners, between the stakeholders. So it's extremely important. And if this happens well, and we have to set this up, if you set it up properly, and then you kind of monitor them, I think it's the right way how things will really happen. The other thing that I can talk about is also a project control tools. If you say, how is a project successful, or what are the innovative ways, it's about the project control tools. How do we track a schedule? How do we track costs? How do we manage risks? How do we manage procurement? How do we manage all the last minute changes that happen? I mean, even the situation right now that we are facing in right now about COVID-19, all of us are making enough plans as to a restart, or how do we come back, with the team that's available, what's the best idea that we can come out to? We are working again collaboratively with everybody. All these things are, extremely important. As I said, management is one of the most specialized, really complicated. It needs a very, very agile mindset. We need to make sure that everybody really chips in. Nobody can have the best of information and say that I am super important. It's a team effort. It's a collaborative effort. And that's the only way it will happen. I think our industry is like that, unless and until we don't come together and contribute and share the information, we cannot happen. So as simple as that, I would just say, summarize with those 3 points, I think are the biggest success mantra to turn around a very good project.
Question for Mr. Jairam. It's like, how has digitization changed the scenario of project management, Mr. Jairam? Like, has it changed drastically, or is there still scope for improvement?
Absolutely. I think last 10 years has witnessed, as much as we started to build good airports for us, the process of delivery, right from design up to construction and handing over, and then thereon operation and maintenance, digitalization that you might call, has got a very huge impact. If you look at, the way in which people or the stakeholders communicate between themselves, exchange of information, providing access to information, storing information on cloud. And then most importantly, these days, we are also heading towards paperless office. So one of the jobs that we are doing right now, we almost have reduced the use of paper, and how designs can be reviewed online and how it can be approved. So I think that's one thing. The second thing is also we all must have heard about the documentation management systems, the DMS, as is shortly called. There are various specialized companies that offer, like Econex, Procore, who are all in the market. But one of the things that they do is how to bring everybody in one platform. And I think those things are extremely useful. Without that, I think we cannot manage such large projects. All these jobs are fast track, be it done on a PPP route or AAI, all of them are fast track projects. So fast track projects, one of the things that we need is excellent communication and electronic intervention. Therefore, digitalization is very, very important, plays a very important role. The other thing that I know it was kind of mentioned, but I really want to kind of expand upon it, is building information modeling. BIM is, everyone knows, a lot of people in the industry know it. A lot of good contracting companies and owners also use it, but it's more restricted at the design stage. But what we would like to see is, and we are trying to implement is on the jobs, is try to take it through into the construction and follow it at every stage. Because one of the benefits of the BIM, which is 3D modeling, or 4D, wherein we talk about sequencing of construction, 5D, we're talking about cost. Then we talk about 6D and 7D, which is more the project life cycle, and then into facilities management and things like that. It's a wonderful tool. And in some countries like Singapore and Middle East and all, it's been mandated, by law to make it as a part of your construction. And I would strongly recommend and urge the stakeholders who are there here on all our projects to start implementing it throughout, because it helps in accuracy of information. B, we are able to kind of, virtually simulate what's happening, what's going to happen, work at clash detection and things like that. So it helps a lot in reworks. People who are looking at quality and design, they would really kind of second what I'm saying. It's extremely important, helps a lot. But I feel the penetration has been very, very low. The impact is not that much. We do struggle, I must tell you. It's not very clear that people start embracing it. But we want, this is something that we should kind of put it on all the large projects. And most of the companies have got excellent facilities. BIM is a great, India is a great hub for BIM outsourcing, doing a lot of job for a lot of architects from various parts of the world. So I think we should just take it up to all project sites. So yeah, that's pretty much I would think in terms of digitalization. Last but not the least, look at what we are doing. This is nothing but a kind of offshoot of what the technology has given us. We've been communicating electronically. We're having Zoom meetings. We're having Microsoft Teams. All that we are doing is we are running a parallel office right now over the last 30 days. So it's going to become the new normal, as we say. So I'm saying definitely why airports? I think it's a trend that's there.
It's part of our life now.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So Jairam, maybe you would like to just sum up.
I would just like to tell one thing that, one of the core things of project management is how we can avoid delays to the schedule. And I think that's important for everybody. But I'm telling you from the experience that we have in managing two large airports, I can only tell you, let's focus on the E part of EPC, which is the engineering. It's at the front. And if you are able to bring the best resources there, and everybody comes together and we resolve issues in a workshop in a very, very coordinated manner, I'm telling you the EPC, the procurement and the construction part of it will be relatively easy. I'm not saying there won't be challenges, but we have to put a lot of stress on engineering. I'm telling you, it is, we have done all the studies, every kind of the analysis says that the delay happens at the engineering stage for various reasons as it gets. So with that note, I would like to sign off. So, it was nice participating. Thank you so much, Jayashree and everybody, Chintan, Ravi, Uma, everyone. Thank you so much. Really appreciate. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Jairam.